Hello, my name is Bernardo. Welcome to yourgreatlifetoyou.com. And today's episode is how to really know when it's time to end it. And I'm talking about this because I have a person close to my heart who, despite being in a very disengaging, very disruptive, very dispassionate relationship, and a relationship that has been pretty bad for the last few years, is still deciding to stay in that relationship. So I started thinking about how do I share with people what are some of the clues that let them know when it's really time to end it. And deep down in your heart, the first clue, before I even talk about these clues, is your heart will tell you when it's time to end it. You just have to get the courage to follow your heart and to know that you will be okay despite not knowing how you're going to do it to be okay. Clue number one is that lets you know that it's time to end it. It's when you and your partner have incompatible values. You've tried really hard to make it work, but you know down deep that the person, both of you value security, the other person values adventure. One of you values minimalism, the other person values gathering shit. When there's many of those values, I'm not saying there's not going to be some discrepancies. There are, and there's beauty in that as well. But when most of your important things, the things that are most important to you, are different from those of your partner, there's a real problem, and there's very little chance that that's going to change ever. Rule number two, or clue number two, that lets you know that it's time to end it. When you become the worst version of yourself when you're around this person. When you're around your partner and you feel like crap and you act like crap and you become a lower version of yourself, then there's a chance that you may not be with the right person. Worse off, when you're not even around this person, but because you feel so bad about your relationship, you don't act with radiance and with brilliance because your light is starting to dim down, then there's definitely a point in there that you need to make a decision as to if you want to stay with this person or if you want to continue dimming your light. Rule number three, or clue number three, better said, is when the person that you're with is not willing to accept that there's an issue, despite maybe being abusive to you or being not giving you enough attention, and is unwilling to change. This one is probably one of the most important ones, because if the person that you're with is not even sensitive enough to know that there's an issue, or you talk to them about it and they disregard it, or worse off, they pretend they're paying attention but they really don't, then what they're really telling you is they don't really care about you, they care more about themselves, which leads me to the fourth clue. The fourth clue is when this person values everything else or puts other things above the relationship. In life, your relationship needs to be at such a high ranking that you're willing to let go of some things because of the relationship. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have individual things that you work for and you or with independently of your partner. That's extremely healthy, and that's something that you definitely have to cultivate. But there has to be a point where you value your relationship more than other things. If you don't, then you might as well just be in a relationship by yourself. I'm going to talk about next week how to really change this, how to end the relationship if you're not sure how. But I'm going to share with you the first clue for that. The first clue is you simply have to raise your standards. You have to raise the standards about what you demand from the world, what you demand from yourself, what you expect from a partner, what you know that life can be for you, and how you can live life. You have to raise the standards in all those different levels, and you have to make a decision. Ultimately, it's about making a decision that you're no longer going to take shit from anyone, and that you're going to do your best to give your all, but if that all is not met at the same level, it's time to end it. Now, today, my challenge for you today is to evaluate your relationships, and if there's a relationship that you know in your heart that you've been on the fence about ending it or not, you either make it better, which is one solution. If it doesn't get better, you need to end this thing. And if you have a friend who's facing the same situation, you can actually just share with them some of these clues as to how they can determine for themselves if it's time to end it or not. Ultimately, it's about living the life that you want and sharing what's in your heart with other human beings. If that person that you're with doesn't let you share who you really are with them, you're not meant to be with that person. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you. I challenge you to live a full and conscious life, and I challenge you especially today to evaluate your relationships and to give your all, and when your all is not met with acceptance, then you know that it's probably time to let go. Thank you.